Elon Musk has bought Twitter for approximately $44 billion. In a statement released by the company, Mr. Musk said, "Free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square." No word on whether or not he would take it to a subscription-based model.
This guy, huh?
He bought Twitter for $44 billion with a B. You know what that is? 6 times the amount of money we need to end world hunger.
He made a promise that if they could line out of how to fix world hunger, he would donate the money, and it's significantly less than he paid for Twitter. And I didn't see that happen.
I don't really know how to feel about it. Like, I have very mixed emotions about this.
I just don't know if having a person of that magnitude and having that amount of weight being brought into the app is ultimately going to be good.
And this is where we find ourselves with Elon Musk about to buy.
Why did we whisper?
Yeah, I saw that.
Apparently it's going down.
It happened.
Oh!
What?
Oh!
Joe
Been
Rogan.
announced.
Elon Musk just bought Twitter. We got a movie star type of a superhero. He believes that free speech is important, and not just important, vital for a democracy, for a functioning democracy. And I agree with that. Donald Trump says, I'm not going back to Twitter, even with Elon Musk taking over. Donald, reconsider.
This is the kind of stuff people are worried about.
If he doesn't want, don't force the man. If he doesn't want to, leave him alone.
I don't think we should valorize or villainize almost anybody. That includes Joe Rogan or Elon, who's done maybe good things and bad things. I think this valorization, this like idolization of real world people is bad. This is not a movie.
I mean, no, he's not a superhero, but he's a person that is a forward-thinking person and is able to accomplish those forward-thinking type of tasks.
In the moment you start living in a fantasy world, you stop being able to see flaws. And everybody has flaws. Maybe not me. And once you take a step away and throw your blinders on to see those flaws, then you start worshiping them.
Well, I'm not going to comment on a specific transaction. What I can tell you as a general matter, no matter who owns
This is the White House.
Twitter, the president has long been concerned about the power of large social media platforms, the power they have over our everyday lives, has long argued that tech platforms must be held accountable for the harms they cause. He's been a strong supporter of fundamental reforms to achieve that goal, including reforms to Section 230, enacting antitrust reforms, requiring more transparency, and more. And he's encouraged that there's bipartisan interest in Congress.
Of course, even the White House is going to take notice of something like this because of the fact that the president has a Twitter. That changes for every single president. It looked like they aren't sure what types of things are going to change and whether or not it's going to affect the way that they can use the platform themselves.
It's a double-edged sword because, like, I don't really trust the government, to be honest with you. I can understand why people would look at Elon as sort of that hero archetype of like, well, you do have our interest at heart.
Tech companies should be held responsible for some of the content to some degree that's on their platforms, or like some of their moderation policies. I think that's just an evolution of law with society. Like, we didn't have these platforms, so we didn't need that level of scrutiny, but now we've had them for a while, and I think it's time.
I'll do voices. I love Twitter. You should buy it then. How much is it?
He's talking about Twitter like he went into like a shoe store and was like, hey, them Nikes are dope. And they're like, oh, you should buy them. They're like, how much is it?
I don't know if he was really into it back then, but maybe it was the seed. Maybe it was the seed that brought all this to fruition.
This strikes me as the kind of thing that is very value-driven for him. Like, he is somebody who genuinely believes in what he's saying, and that's why he's doing what he's doing.
Like him or not, the man is smart with how he spends his money and what he does with it. For the most part. He also sometimes makes flamethrowers.
If our Twitter bid succeeds, we will defeat the spam bots or die trying. Now that's one I can with.
I hope that even my worst critics remain on Twitter, because that is what free speech means.
The idea that there should be critics of people on Twitter is really great, and I agree with him. If he means that, I think he's totally right.
You want that because that helps you adjust as a person and also helps you see the world around you on a bigger scale instead of just being like, this is my bubble and this is all I will keep and all that I want to know.
Granted, there probably should be some guidelines in terms of what can and cannot be said.
Free speech is super important, but I think protecting society from people who are really harmful is really important. And I hear a lot of free speech people gloss over this. Like, it's like, well, all ideas should be out in the forefront. And I do agree with that in theory. I love that idea. But there is a line and there is a limit. And I'm not sure he knows that limit. I guess we'll have to see.
If someone is mad because someone is actively using hate speech, that's not a right or political issue. Like, that's hate speech. That is a human issue.
Free speech is essential to a functioning democracy. Do you believe Twitter rigorously adheres to this principle?
The consequences of this poll will be important. Please vote carefully.
2 million votes. Wow. That's a large margin for something like that with that many voters.
I think it won't give him an accurate representation of what people in society want. It'll give him an accurate representation of what Twitter users want, which you could argue is the point.
I'm sure there's occasionally people who don't agree with him who find the polls, like for sure. But for the most part, it's primarily his fans.
Being banned on Twitter because you're inciting violence is not limiting free speech. Being thrown in jail because you've said something on Twitter, that is limiting free speech.
But does the spirit of free speech apply beyond the letter of the law? It's a fair debate to have. I honestly don't know where I personally fall on it.
Rocket, star, heart, yes! Heart, star, rocket!
Free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy. Very good.
And Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated, said Mr. Musk.
I also want to make Twitter better than ever by enhancing the product with new features, making the algorithms open source to increase trust, defeating the spam bots, and authenticating all humans.
There's already been such a negative light put on harvesting personal information from everybody. If he's going to do that, how is he going to keep it secure? How is he going to keep it from prying eyes? Is he going to keep it? Is he not going to sell it?
I just don't know if his version of what he thinks a digital town square should be lines up with the town.
Seeing that he wants these changes to be made and made like quickly and wants to let people know, hey, I'm not just buying this to sit in the back. I'm buying this to make changes. That interests me and kind of excites me. I might actually go back to Twitter because of it.
It's time, Elon. Suspended accounts. Exactly.
I don't think it's harmful or bad or wrong to look through the suspended accounts and see what they did or said. But if people are like, again, active hate speech should probably stay suspended.
Some of the people they suspended was for good reason. Maybe some wasn't, and that's fair. But this idea that everyone should just be allowed on the platform, like, this isn't 4chan. Like, let's scale it back.
Instead of worrying about how this guy spends money, you should be worrying about how they're spending yours. Oh, 100%. What, ¿por qué no los dos? Why not both?
This meme is gaslighty a little bit. It's like, oh, we shouldn't care about this. It's whataboutism.
That's the thing. Don't nobody have to give Elon any money. He just makes a whole lot of it because he's smart. We have to give them money to make things run.
I get it. I get that meme. I understand it. It's just a lot more legwork for people to do that in terms of figuring out how the government's spending the money.
You should be worried how the guy's spending his money because he's not spending it for the roads that his cars are traveling on. He's not paying for the military. Part of the reason he has all that money is because I pay my taxes for the military, the roads, the police, and things like that. So you should be worried. You should be concerned. I watched a billionaire swinging what he thought was his big dick.
Subscribe to the channel for more discussions like this.
I don't know. I like a lot of this. Makes my tummy feel weird. Makes my tummy hurt.
Comment down below what you think about this deal.
Elon Musk ends world hunger. JK buys a website.